Being a rapper isn't a sustainable source of income. I mean, you can fall off any day now. When that happens, some rappers gracefully bow out and move on to other ventures, while others simply refuse to put the fries in the bag and give it up, with Bobby Shmurda being our first cautionary tale. Unlike most rappers who struggle for years then get noticed, Bobby Shmurda blew up quickly. In 2014, his song Hot Nigga, don't worry, I'm black, I can actually say it, was the only thing you could listen to on the radio. Accompanied by the shmoney dance that went viral online, Hot Nigga became a staple of the culture, with even big stars like Beyonce and Jay-Z rocking to it.
Did you see Jay-Z and Beyonce on their tour doing the dance?
I love the
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Hey, shout out the king and the queen, baby.
Because of all the attention Bobby Shmurda was getting, he had a lot of eyes on him, but not always for the right reasons, as deep in the trenches of the internet, the feds were watching his every move. You see, it was well documented by his music that Bobby Shmurda was not a law-abiding citizen. I mean, the whole reason that his song went viral was because of all the crimes he mentioned.
Like I told Tish, I see when I shot niggas. Like you seen him twirl, then he dropped, nigga.
Bobby's self-snitching put a huge target on his back, so as a result, after doing enough digging, the feds found enough evidence to book him and his whole GS9 crew. Just months after becoming a superstar, Shmurda transitioned into an inmate as he was sentenced to 7 years in the Clinton Correctional Facility, eventually only serving 5 years. Being locked up meant that Bobby couldn't make new music, do shows, or keep the buzz he had going. Unlike other rappers such as NBA Youngboy or Lil Durk, he didn't have any unreleased songs to provide to his audience, so his career just froze. As much as his fans still loved him, they had to move on, as new artists such as Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign started taking over the Brooklyn drill scene that Bobby had helped start. So overnight, he became irrelevant, and by the time he came out of prison by February of 2021, people lost interest in him. Despite notable releases like No Time for Sleep and Shmoney, Bobby didn't get any motion to his career. The musical landscape had shifted dramatically from what Bobby was used to, and this affected his music badly. In an effort to evolve his sound, Bobby shifted from his drill music to whatsoever this is.
So I met the shorty the other day, and she asked me what I do. I told her VC.
This sounds like the sort of music you hear in Diddy Crib. Bring back the old Bobby. When did this dude make music again? Bobby needs to apply at McDonald's. These are just a few of the comments you would catch on his latest music video for his song On Something, and boy, do they get worse. His music was so bad now that he was now struggling to even get at least 500,000 views, despite nearly having 3 million subscribers. And the only time Bobby seems to be getting attention is when he starts to get zesty online.
Wait, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
This nigga definitely dropped the soap. And the numbers get even worse from there. Bobby had to cancel his Still Alive tour due to low ticket sales. Bobby was averaging about 10 tickets per city, which is embarrassing for a rapper his size. I mean, with numbers like that, you couldn't even fill up a KFC. One thing I want to add is, it's actually funny that he named his tour the Still Alive Tour when nobody actually showed up to check if he was still alive. And with the decay of his career, it looks like Bobby's expensive lifestyle has finally caught up to him, as he seemingly now makes ends meet by selling off his old jewelry.
Shmurda on the set, Shmurda run that bitch, and guess what, baby? It's the Dark Knight, and we back here with the next one. And we're raffling off a brand new motherfucking rollie. And guess what? It's black up top and it's blue down low. It's called the Batman, if you ain't know. Ha! And guess what? You can get it for $2 at doubleup.fun. We're gonna put the link right here. Listen to me. It's one more time. Doubleup.fun. You better go get you one.
But one rapper who managed to keep his money coming even way after his fall off is Vanilla Ice. Back in 1990, Vanilla Ice's hit song Ice Ice Baby became the first hip-hop track to hit #1 on the Billboard charts. His success would later continue as his album Extreme sold over 15 million copies worldwide. But all good things must come to an end, as after 1990, Vanilla Ice had officially peaked and now there was nowhere to go but downhill. Starting with when people called him out for being fake. They said he was just a white guy trying to act like he grew up in a tough neighborhood, when actually he had a pretty normal life in suburban Texas. By the time 1994 came around, his second album, Mind Blowin', flopped dramatically, and critics weren't kind. People started seeing him as a one-hit wonder who got famous and couldn't keep it up. But instead of dragging his lifeless career any further like most rappers would do, Vanilla Ice decided to take a step back from music to reinvent himself. First, he went back to something that he actually loved as a kid: extreme sports. He got into motocross racing and jet skiing, and he was really good at it. By the mid-90s, he was ranked number 6 in the world as a jet ski racer. And that's not just a hobby, it's a serious skill. Then he found another passion, which was real estate. Vanilla Ice started buying houses that needed fixing up, making them nice and selling them for profit. He got so good at it that he turned it into a whole career. In 2010, he launched a show called The Vanilla Ice Project on DIY Network. The show was all about him buying old houses, renovating them, and selling them for big bucks. The show was so good, in fact, that it went for 9 seasons, all the way up until 2019, and he was estimated to make about $1 million per season. Talk about a good retirement plan, right? People loved watching him transform houses, and it showed that he was more than just a rapper. He was a smart businessman who knew how to make money in a totally different field, which is a skill that most rappers lack these days. And the best part about all this is that Vanilla Ice didn't even have to quit hip-hop. In fact, he still performs to this day. He still does concerts playing Ice Ice Baby for fans who love the nostalgia. And judging by the crowd sizes, it's safe to say that he's doing way better than Bobby Shmurda, despite him not being a full-time rapper. One of the main takeaways from Vanilla Ice's life after hip-hop is that he's just a likable guy. His appearances on shows such as Dancing with the Stars showed everyone just how fun and down-to-earth he was. And that's made people respect him a whole lot more. But sadly, I cannot say the same about his little sister, Ice Spice. Ice Spice blew up in 2022 with her hit song Munch, and to date the song has over 60 million views on YouTube. But don't be fooled, it's not because the track is good, as the song also managed to pull nearly 500,000 dislikes. You see, people didn't like Ice Spice for her rapping. Most women simply loved her for her personality, and for most men, they liked her for her, how do I say this? Her assets, if that makes sense. And one of her main criticisms was that she couldn't rap. At first, she managed to downplay her haters with a few hits such as Delhi and Princess Diana, but she couldn't escape the allegations any further when she dropped her debut album Y2K. Fans were expecting something amazing. Instead, they got a super short 23-minute long album with songs that felt repetitive and annoying. People said her lyrics were weak and she kept on rapping about the same stuff. And some of her lines, such as the ones about poop, were just cringy to say the least.
Come here calling me baby. I'm as poopy like I need a diaper.
Critics gave the song mixed reviews, but with the general consensus being that she's all hype and no talent.
Even though the process of building up to this new album has been pretty long and even a little dragged out, it had to come eventually. And now that we're here, it feels like such a nothing burger. The hooks are basic, the features are forgettable, the instrumentals I would say are pretty typical for her at this point.
The project would only sell 28,000 copies in its first week, which is a big letdown for someone as famous as her. And simultaneously, she also managed to lose both of her male and female audiences due to some controversies. She first lost the ladies who were on her side after she was exposed for being her bully to her then friend Cleopatra, who went viral on TikTok for exposing her for being a terrible person.
But you actually have one time to show me that you are jealous, intimidated, untrustworthy, fake, disloyal.
That whole controversy made the fans very mad, and they started calling Ice Spice a bad person. And she then further lost her male fan base when she decided to lose weight, melting the ice in the process. But don't worry though, she managed to gain it back. In fact, that seems to be the only thing maintaining her career, as during one of her performances, the fans were not feeling her, so she had to resort to the only weapon in her arsenal. Man, I hope she can recover from this. But on another note, let's take a deep dive into Flo Rida, who is the most successful rapper to fall off in this entire video. For those of you who were born before 2013, you probably know him for songs such as Low and Welcome to My House. But for those of you born after 2015, I'm sure you're wondering who on earth this nigga is. Well, that's because his career sort of flatlined tremendously by this point. He had no momentum whatsoever when it came to his music. So instead of forcing his career on the new generation, Flo did a smart thing and he ventured into business, distancing himself a little bit from rap. He became a brand ambassador for the energy drink Celsius. This was the greatest decision he has ever made in his entire life, because this one deal would give him generational wealth. You see, Flo was promoting the Celsius drinks like crazy, but he said they weren't paying him what they owed him for his work, such as stock options and bonuses. So he decided to take them to court in Florida, and he ended up winning, bagging himself over $80 million. Now, if that's not a good retirement plan, I don't know what is.